Hi there guys, and welcome to my first tutorial based on Cinema 4D. Some of you may be aware on some of my other channels I've been doing Photoshop tutorials for a couple of years, but now I'm going to expand it and go on to different applications, mainly ones that you can incorporate into Photoshop. So today we're going to use Cinema 4D, and as you can see I've got set up just a softbox and overhead softbox available for download from Grayscale Gorilla. Check out Nick, he does some amazing tutorials on Cinema 4D, and it's pretty much where I've learned all my stuff from. I've also got HDRI Sky in the scene as well, but as they're not included, I'm not going to go into that kind of tutorial. First of all, we're going to set up a floor. So first of all, we're going to select a disk, and I'm going to crank the radius right up, like that, and we're going to center it. Then we're going to insert a background, and because we're going to make it seamless, we're going to right click the disk, put Cinema 4D tags and composite in, and we're going to check this box here that says composite in background. Then we're going to create a texture for our floor and background. We're going to just use a gradient, so we're going to go to colour, select gradient, and for it we're going to go for a blue, but we're going to make it very dark blue, and probably even darker than that, to be honest with you, because I don't like them too light because it distracts from your text. So I want you to see what I'm doing. And then the background gradient colour is going to be an even darker blue. Okay, then we're going to go for the type to circular, and we're going to apply that to the disk, and we're going to apply it to the background, and then we're going to make sure the texture is set onto frontal, and on this one set it to frontal as well. That way we should get a nice looking seamless background with the floor. Again, we're just going to get these out of the way because we're just going to press Alt and G on them to create them into a group. So now we can move on to the text. There's two main types of text. There's the text using a spline, and there's MoGraph text. MoGraph text is more popular because it comes all ready for you to do. It's all 3D. All you need to do is just change whatever you want text to say. So for this example, we're going to use Hoogle, and we're just going to turn off this blind text because although the same rules apply to it, you can just be just as flexible with it as you can MoGraph text, and you've got some advantages over it, and I'll show you that towards the end of the video. Okay, and so once we've got our text here, we're going to want to add some depth to it, not that much, and we're going to change the font to a nice cool looking 3D font, which I like, Zerod. Does the job, looks good. So you can see there we've now got text with a seamless background, and at the moment looks a bit boring. What people ask me to do, actually no, we'll apply texture to it first. So to apply a texture to it, we're going to choose blue, and we're going to choose a nice soft blue. We're going to add some Fresnel to it because we like Fresnel, and then just make it about 1.4. Okay, we'll apply that to there, and we'll just render that out to give it a quick look to see how it is. It's looking a bit dull there, so what we're going to do, instead of boosting lights and adding more lights to the scene, we're just going to go to the luminance channel, add some luminance, and select a slightly darker blue than your actual colour, and then take the brightness down to about 70%, should do it, and then we render that out. It just brings it up a little bit. Obviously if you want it brighter, you can make it brighter. Again, number one question that comes to me is, how do I make my face of the text different colour to the side and the back of my text? Well, that's quite easy to do. All you need to do is hold down Control, duplicate the layer. If you hold down Control and drag out with texture, you can get a duplicate of the texture. This time I can make it, I don't know, pink. And we'll just give that a bit more pink on there. Like that. And then we'll apply that to the duplicate version of the text. With this one, what we're going to do is change the caps to a fillet cap. And just like that, you've got your text on how you normally see in my text. You can add it to a fillet cap, and you can actually boost up the size of the fillet cap in here. And you can take the original text and using the blue axis, you can move that forward to give it a bit more of a beveled look. Excuse me, just had to mute my microphone there while I had a little cough. Okay, now of course you can apply these similar kind of effects on just one text layer. If you, for example, want to do the same results, which is using one, you just apply the texture to it, select the texture, and under the selection you can type C using a capital letter and then a 1. And then you can see you've got the same here, or you can put the blue as C1 and then you'll have it reversed so the pink's on the outside. If you'd like to just use that texture as a stroke around the face of the text, you would change it to R1. Having to use capital letters here, often R11 there, that's not what you want, press enter, and there we go. And when you enter that out, C1. Oh, I've got a space in there, that's why it's not working. And you just need to come onto here, go to the caps and add a fillet cap. And there you go, you've got just a stroke around the outside. So when you render that out, got it just there. Okay, say you want to add a third colour to the text. You can change that by just going to here, we'll make it a bit green. And of course, we need to adjust it on the luminance as well. Take the blue down a bit, give it a bit more of a limey green. Apply that texture. So that's R1, we change this one to C1. So now we've got 3 colours on our text, and it's starting to look a bit more 3D style that you often see me do. Okay, now if you're doing a 3D world, then you'd want to apply these textures to the back as well. So instead of the 1, you'd actually replace that with a 2. And there we go. Then enter, you'll see the face of it's disappeared, but on the back there it is. Or you can apply more textures and you can do the same thing with just R1 and C1 at the front, but for this example, because it's going into Photoshop, we only really need it on the front. Ooh. I didn't type. And put it as 1. There we go. Okay, so another little thing people ask me is how do I make the text usually so it's not lined up properly. I just cheat and I use MoGraph, Effector, and go to random. Making sure of course the mode text is selected at the time. Effector, random again, we'll try this again, and now you get the random effect of the text. I turn off position and I'll just put on rotation. Using the rotation, you can adjust it, and you've probably seen lots of YouTube intros that go like this, and then they evolve into the word. Okay, so let's just get it to somewhere where we can actually still read it. And there you go, that's basically just a simple thing. Of course you can apply different effectors to it and play with how you like it, but that's not really what this tutorial is about. Okay, and so let's turn this off. Oh, not that one. And let's go into spline text and see how that's different. You still type out however you like it. You still set your font to the same. But to make it 3D, you've got to come and use the NURBS. Now, if you use the extrude NURBS and make the text a child of it, this is pretty much the same as the Mo text. It's just using it the long way round. It's pretty much each to your own, whichever you like best, but this does have its advantages. With the extrude NURBS, you can actually still add all your fillet cap, and you can still add your depth, but now you can actually alter the angle of which it goes at. So if you want to make some creative effects, you can do that quite easily. We'll zero that out. You can still apply your textures to it, and you still get the same effects just by copying those textures over, and you're back to where you started. The other advantage of this is, of course, that if you actually hold down Control and copy this, and then you come to your spline and choose a circle for this one, you can use any shape. If you take the circle diameter and change it down to 6 centimeters, I guess, and then come to your NURBS here, you can go to Sweep NURBS, and you can take the text, drop it to Sweep NURBS, and then drop the circle in between the text and the NURBS. And as you can see here, if I move this text spline, you've got an instant looking neon light. This is the same as the stroke around the face, but of course you can use different shapes and you can move it back. But the advantage of this is it gives you more of a beveled look, and of course you can change the size of the circle that it's on, so you can get some really funky effects. So if we render that out, that's what you get, just like that. Okay, so if I want to import this into Photoshop, then this finishes off this tutorial quite nicely. All I need to do is disable, well, you can either take it with the background, or you can just turn this off by holding down Alt and pressing that twice. Coming up to your render settings, have your output, save it, but then select PNG and make sure this box here is checked, which is the alpha channel. So when you render this out in the picture viewer, you'll see it comes up. Yes, I can replace that. I can replace that. You've still got the black background, but this time actually when you open it up, you'll find that you've actually got a PNG ready to open with Photoshop to finish off your creative effects. And there you go. Again, I hope this was of use to you, and I hope you use these effects to your liking, and then maybe we'll go into another video one day or soon to actually make it so it's all animated. Thank you for watching, and please follow this channel for future updates with more tutorials.